Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. I hope that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I'm sitting back in a chair that does not squeak in front of the bookshelf because here today we are here to talk about Conan the Barbarian, cartoons and news. Because, yeah, we have some news. There is a new Conan the Barbarian cartoon, hopefully coming out soon. I'm super excited about that because I am a big fan of Conan himself. Quite a big fan of the big man. But more exciting than that is the man who is spearheading the project. Apparently it's going to be Genndy Tartakovsky, and that is super exciting. Tartakovsky, whose name I am probably mispronouncing now that I think about it, has done a lot of really cool work in the world of cartoons over the decades. If you guys don't know who he is, he's really created some iconic, instantly recognizable smash hits. There's, of course, Samurai Jack, which was a freaking fantastic series, all things considered. The original Clone Wars cartoon with General Grievous, who looked really cool and kicked Jedi ass. There was Symbiotic Titan. There was Primal, which was about a caveman and his dinosaur friend going on zany Conan-like adventures, now that I think about it. That was basically Proto-Conan. Big old caveman with a spear. Cool stuff. And also he was involved in a bunch of cartoons from my childhood, like Dexter's Laboratory, which I was a huge fan of. So, good work. I am very excited to see what Genndy manages to cook up for Conan. Also, I'm just excited to see more Conan cartoons. This is not Conan's first cartoon rodeo. There have been at least two others. There was Conan the Adventurer from '92, and then its follow-up series, Conan and the Young Warriors, I think it's called, from '94. Now that it's been a while since I've watched either of those. I know that Conan the Adventurer was much more popular, or at least much more successful, I should say. I shouldn't say more popular, because you know how things are. But it definitely had more episodes. I think it had 64 or 65. 65 episodes was syndication, right? So it had a lot of episodes under its belt. It had a toy line. It was fairly well received, and for a lot of kids, it was their introduction to Conan, even though it was a cartoon from the early 90s, so it wasn't bloody and violent like a lot of Conan stories are, for what they are. And then Conan and the Young Warriors, I think, only had like 12 or 13 episodes. It was not very well received. But the two series were tied together, and I do recall, like, way back in the day, I did watch them. Basically, I binge watched as many of them as I could. Enjoyed them. At least I remember enjoying them, and for the most part, I do enjoy a lot of Conan stuff. Even the campy, silly ones. Some of the old comics are really kind of silly. Their overall plots are kind of wacky, and the Conan cartoons that I watched were fine, I should say. It's not like I like every single Conan thing under the sun. There's some stories that I'm not a huge fan of. There's a lot of comics that I don't like, especially some of the Marvel ones. Can be kind of out there, not too enjoyable, especially when he does crossovers with, like, when there's like a Conan crossing over with a Marvel character. Not a fan of that. I do not believe Conan works within the framework of, like, superheroes. It's just not something that I, as a Conan fan, want to see. That's all. Not really here to bash the Marvel Conan comics, just here to say that it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, I am overall really excited for this, especially since the other thing we know about the cartoon right now is that it's going to include Bellet, who is one of the more recognizable Conan love interests from the stories. She was the centerpiece of a short story from way back in the day, Queen of the Black Coast, Weird Tales, 1934? I feel like 1934 is correct. Correct me if I'm wrong. True Conan fans out there who definitely know more about the series than I do. It's a good story. I'm not going to spoil it. You can go read it yourself. It is public domain by now, probably. 1930s, it's probably public domain, right? Good story overall. Short story. I don't actually own it. It is like one of the few Conan stories that I do want to own a physical copy of that I don't have. And the reason I don't have it is while I do have, like, a lot of these, like, analog magazines and some fantasy and science fiction magazines and Earth magazines and stuff, I own a lot of those because they're really cheap. You can go pick up like a pile of them for like $10. But a lot of the old Weird Tales ones, especially like a lot of the pre-1950s ones, are super expensive and hard to find online. So I told myself like forever ago that if I was going to get a Weird Tales magazine, it would either be one of the H.P. Lovecraft ones, or it would be Queen of the Black Coast from 1934. And those are all just really stupid expensive. And I'm not going to spend that kind of money on something that I can download online for free, you know? But if I was going to buy a Weird Tales magazine, it would be the Queen of the Black Coast because, again, it's a really enjoyable story. No spoilers. Well, light spoilers. Bellet dies. She is an iconic character, though. There's a lot of comics and stories that came out well after her debut do elaborate on her adventures with Conan. She is a pirate queen. She's like Conan's sailor equal. Super awesome character. He loves her deeply. She loves him back, and they go on all kinds of crazy adventures up and down the coast. Fun stuff. Kesh, I think was the name of it. It's been a while since I've read it. Overall, really enjoyable stuff, really fun character, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm curious to see if Gendy is just going to do an adaptation of the short story. I hope not, because that would be like a 20-minute episode, probably. Or if he's going to adapt like some of the later stuff. If he does, then that could really make for a very long series, could make for quite a lot of material, because she is a popular character. She's one of the more recognizable characters in the Conan mythos, right up there with the big man himself and Red Sonja. So she's pretty great, all things considered. Really, all I wanted to talk about in this video is that there's a new Conan cartoon coming out, and I'm super excited about it. Because, yeah, you know, I know that these kind of pulp heroes, these pulp characters with really archaic mythoses and these kind of ancient savage moralities and such aren't really in vogue with the youth of today, but there's just something about Conan picking up a sword and hacking down anyone who pisses him off on the wrong day that just still manages to be cool even to this day. And I've said it, there was a meme that I saw every so often on the internet, and it's like a big knight in shining armor standing over someone. It's like everything you thought was cool when you were a kid, it's all still cool. Dinosaurs, robots, boobs, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's all cool. That was the meme. And like that really resonates with me with Conan. I thought these kind of like muscle-bound heroes were really cool as a kid, watching like He-Man and G.I. Joe and such. But now as an adult, I'm like, I did go through a period of time where I was like, stuff's lame. I want more like superhero-y kind of stuff, more spies and such. But now as an adult, man, I cannot get enough Conan. I love Conan. I love Red Sonja. All that kind of stuff. It just really feels right to me, really resonates with me. And like I said before, for the most part, I really like a lot of it. You got to make like a really bad Conan story for me to not like it. Which, again, does happen. But for the most part, I like a lot of it. So, anyway, I'm rambling. And I could ramble. I could easily ramble about a lot of these books. I should do more reviews, but I digress. For the most part, just want to say there is a new Conan cartoon. It's being done by Gendy. I'm super excited about it. I look forward to watching it, and hopefully it'll be good. And I'm pretty hopeful that it will be. So that's all I got for you kiddos today. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Let me know your comments in the comment section down below, what you think is the best Conan story. Definitely let me know. But yeah, that's all I got for you kiddos today. See you later. Ciao.